Rogan Report Podcast. Check it out.
All things Joe Rogan by day. Rogan Report Podcast by night. All day. All night. Half hour to an hour-ish episodes once a week.
The Rogan Report Podcast.
All right, Shane, welcome to the basement on this Saturday, January 25th evening.
Good to be back, man.
Yeah, this is like a week later.
Yeah.
So
this feels quick this time.
back on the once-a-week train maybe for at least 1 week in a row.
Yeah, let's see what we can do.
Yeah. I don't know that we need to do it once a week, but it is fun, especially when we've got some really fun things to talk about. Let's go through the table of contents. We've got some whiskey to taste and talk about. You went to Kill Tony, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We just watched the UFC Fight Night, Blades versus DeSantos. That was fucking rad,
Great
too.
fight night. Yep.
Yeah, good fight night. I just did my last music lesson, my last in a group of 3 music lessons with Dana Wiley, and then went and played at an open mic out in Stony Plain. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I got some music to play, kind of related to that. And then, of course, on our JRE breakdown, we will talk a little bit about 1415, Barry Weiss, and then the MMA show 86 with Josh Thompson. And a couple of Joe jokes.
Yep.
You got one?
I do. I don't have it written down, but it's
in your memory.
It's swirling in looseness in my brain right now. But
Yeah.
it's gonna crystallize.
No,
at the
keep
end of
it
this.
fluid, and then it'll be more natural when you say it.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah.
Is it a joke that you would have said at Kill Tony if?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all.
Okay.
No. I had like material. Fuck. I wish I would have got called up.
Well,
But-
let's get into Kill Tony. You went to Calgary,
Yeah.
and you got to see the man, Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe Rogan alumni.
Yeah.
One of Joe's favorite podcasts, Kill Tony.
Fucking great, man. Packed. It was at the Hotel Blackfoot in Calgary, and we got a hotel there as well.
Okay, in like a conference room,
I
guess.
No,
Or
the
was it-
laugh spot is actually in the bottom of the
Oh.
hotel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither.
So it's a comedy club. Is it like low ceilings? Kind of. What's the
Pretty low.
capacity? Do you know?
I don't know, but it looked like probably about 300 people. I'd
Okay.
say. It was pretty packed. It was
Cool.
so packed, actually. I've went to a show at the comic strip here in West Edmonton Mall,
Yeah.
and I found it way better set up. Way easier to see the stage from
Yeah.
everywhere.
Comic strip is nice because it's wide.
Yeah.
Right. And there's
there's
like sort of
nice
tiers.
upper tiers,
There's
yeah.
like maybe 3 or even maybe 4 tiers. At least
There-
3 tiers.
So there was
of
that
tables.
too, but the upper tier was almost just too packed. Like,
yeah?
there was definitely a struggle to see Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband a lot of the
Okay.
time. Like, you had to look through people.
The thing about the comic strip here is that it's tables that you're sitting at, which is kind of cool. It's more classic, I guess, for a comedy show, and because a lot of people are eating at comedy shows and whatnot, so it's good if you're eating, but I don't think it's as good. Like, obviously, you can't fit in as many people as you could if it was theater seating
Right.
all the way around, right? And you didn't have tables.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you need maybe? You know what might be cool is to have like tables along the back on the top tier,
Mhm.
and then have theater seating all around the front.
That would make sense.
And then maybe theater seating in the middle 2 tiers, and then have tables at the very front all around the stage,
Yeah.
like they have those tables.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. And you could probably, I would bet you'd fit like an extra 40 or 50 people in doing it that way.
Totally. And it'd be just more comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the people sitting.
Yeah.
And
If
we
you're-
were sardined up with like 2 couples on either side of us. So it was, but I mean, the show was great though.
Yeah.
Everybody was having a great time.
Okay. And the
Yeah.
Calgary comedians were funny.
Fuck yeah. There was a couple of, this one
Killers?
guy, Sam Walker, shout outs to Sam Walker. Go follow him
Okay.
on Instagram. He's so funny. He's about
Cool.
a 5-year comic.
Okay.
He just stayed in character this whole time. Just this like creepy fucking, I don't even know what to call him. I'm not even going to, just go look him up because
Go
he's
look
funny as shit.
Okay. And this is a character that he regularly.
Yeah, he just walks around in
Nice.
it. He had like a fanny pack on. He had like this greasy mullet. Just
Okay.
so greasy.
Cool.
Like he makes my brother-in-law look fucking clean.
Well, for our listeners who know your brother-in-law well, I'm sure that landed.
Yeah, that's
And
dark side of the
they're in
Go look.
stitches right now,
Yeah.
you listeners.
Oh fuck.
Okay. Well, no, awesome. I wish I could have gone. I was working and
Yeah.
I couldn't go.
Fucking.
But glad that you got that experience, and you did sign up, but you just
I
didn't
did
get
sign
called.
up. Didn't get called.
Were you relieved that you didn't get called a little bit?
A little
or-
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there was one that went up that was not ready.
Oh
but,
yeah.
But again, she had such a great interview after that it was so funny. Like every show was funny. Even the guys that weren't that funny, like it's a different thing live for sure.
Cool.
It's way more like, I don't know. It pops more.
Well, when they come to Edmonton, I definitely want to try to go.
Yeah.
Because it's been. I watched the first 100 and I don't know 150 maybe.
Yeah.
And you were at episode like 430 something. And that's incredible. I listened to actually the first 150, and then I started watching them. And then after I started watching them on YouTube, I was like, man, I can't really go back to just listening to them. Because so many of their gags are like visual comments on what the person looks like. Oh, you look like if blank had a baby with blank, and stuff like that. And I think even more so as the show aged.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, there's a lot of things about the early episodes that were so different from it. Really evolved, and that's why they called it seasons, right? With like season 5 or 6 right now that they're talking about.
Right. Well, like the Kill Tony band, and they dress up as something different every show.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing initially. There was the fucking robot.
It is funny without video, but it's definitely better with.
Yeah, and probably 50% funnier in person live.
Oh
Was
my
the
God,
band there? In Calgary?
Just Jeremiah and Joelberg.
Okay.
No Chroma Chris, but
okay.
But fuck man, Joelberg's so fucking funny. He basically came out naked for this. There was a drum off.
Oh, was there?
And this dude, like, honestly,
play?
if we're being honest, this dude beat Joelberg.
Oh, wow.
He was better on the drums than
Okay.
Joelberg was, for sure. But he didn't beat him comedically.
Yeah,
Because
fair
Joelberg
enough.
came out with the strap-on purple dildo,
Yeah.
the fucking, the average white dildo on his head.
Oh, that's fair.
It was pretty good.
You do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's move on from Kill Tony into maybe should we taste some whiskey kind
Let's
of in
do it.
between here? So I got some Northern Harvest rye from Crown Royal. I think we've had a couple drinks already, so
Yeah.
we are maybe 2 sheets to the wind right now. This will hopefully take us to 3.
I think we're in a nice place of looseness
Yeah,
for this.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
And the Northern Harvest rye from Crown Royal was rated #1 whiskey in the world on the Jim Murray Whiskey Bible.
Really?
Whiskey Bible, yeah, which is like this was in 2016, and it was the first Canadian whiskey ever to get that #1 spot on the Whiskey Bible. So pretty prestigious, and it's really not that expensive. A 2.6 is about $40 usually,
Yeah.
maybe 50 at an expensive liquor store. But yeah, it's delicious. Let's pour some right now.
Sure. Let's do it. I did notice it's a 45% compared to, I think, regular Crown's 40.
Yeah. And
that's the case with basically all higher end liquor. The higher end it is, the more alcohol's in it often.
yeah, you see like 110 proof, 120 proof sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is like 60%.
Yeah.
Like that.
And now we're just we've had a little dance with the devil of whiskey,
Yeah.
as mentioned on last episode.
Your
there, so
horrific
so we're toe
quote-unquote
dipping.
story. Now, I didn't bring any water down to press this, so we'll
That's okay. We'll do
we'll
it.
just have it neat. No ice.
Drink it like a man.
Right. But we do have the nice snifters.
Yep.
Mm.
It does smell nice.
Yeah, notes of like vanilla.
Mhm.
Kind of spicy.
I'd love to have a bit of Crown beside it to like
Just regular Crown?
compare it. Yeah.
Oh, it's very different.
Is
Yeah,
it?
from regular Crown. I like that. Sort of a creamy finish a little bit.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but it's got that bite to it.
I haven't come back around to Canadian whiskey since I've been back into whiskey.
Oh, yeah?
Like it's all been mostly about bourbon for me and Scotch, the devil Scotch.
Yeah. So now it's bourbon and Canadian whiskey maybe. And you
Yeah,
can
I think we can
set
get
the Scotch aside for a couple years.
Yeah. And I do need to try some nice Irish whiskey after we tried that Connor stuff. Like, that wasn't nice Irish whiskey. I know there's some good shit. Like I've been looking up that too. There's this one called Writer's Tears that looks like a nice whiskey.
Okay.
I'd like to try.
I've never had that. So, yeah, I mean, if you bring a bottle over here, I'm happy to
Next
have a
time.
sample glass as well.
Yeah, I think the next time we'll get back into that ritual.
Cool. Although I'm planning to take February off of drinking.
Oh, that's right, dry feb.
Yeah, dry fab for
Yep.
me and my lady. I did a few dry months last year, and she did not. So I'm curious to see how she fares with dry February.
I might do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. Good to take breaks, kind of refocus. And
I don't know if it's normal after you're having like an extreme near alcohol poisoning, but I feel every drink way more now
Oh,
since
really?
that happened to me. Yeah, it happened to me. Since I did that to me.
yeah. You were raped by alcohol.
That's what happened. It wasn't my choice at all.
Well, let's talk about music here on Right Off the Topic.
Let's do it.
So, last singing lesson with Dana Wiley was awesome. She had given us a song to work on for, that stretches I was trying to increase my range and work on holding my notes a little truer. And Angie was trying to work on kind of hearing harmony better and singing harmony better. And so we came up with singing the song Amazing Grace as a good way to both work on Angie's harmony and also work on my range.
Nice.
And so we had been working on that a little bit, and we played it for her, and she was like really happy with the progress we made. And one of the tips she gave for me, because one thing I do is when I sing, if I'm trying to hit a higher note, I'll end up kind of just tilting my head back a little bit and trying to like open up my throat, and it's really does not make you sing better. It's a terrible habit to get into. It just is a natural thing that people want to do, and I'm no different. So that's one thing I've been trying to work on. Trying to keep my head in the same position and just open my mouth more and feel the note more, like kind of in. It's the higher notes, you actually feel them higher up in your head, whereas lower notes you feel them like lower down into your stomach and your chest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to work on feeling it there, not lifting my head back, and while also staying loose, because you don't want to have a lot of tension in your neck and your in your muscles. The more tension you have, the like less I don't know what the word is, but it'll be less kind of fluid. And so you want to, you're going to sing at your best when you have zero tension in your muscles, and you're just letting it go, right? So one of the things I'm going to be working on is just walking around the house trying to sing and like shaking my arms and looking like an idiot.
Nice.
So I haven't really done that yet, but this week I'm going to be trying to walk around the house and flail my arms about and see if that helps me to sing better. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least it'll help me to carry less tension, I think. So we took that lesson, and then Angie and I went out to Stony Plain, and we played an open mic. Our friend Kim Gates, he hosts an open mic at the Stony Plain Hotel. It's called like Ye Old Bar or something like that. It's like basically a dive bar, very much like the Strat was, if you ever went to the Strat here in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And it was cheap beer, and the musicians were very much like, there's this public access show in New Brunswick that Angie's dad watches all the time called La Country Show.
Okay.
And it is like, there's like a backing band, and then it's almost like an open mic of rotating guests coming through, musicians, mostly amateur, but people that are just passionate about like old country.
Okay.
And this felt very the same. Good musicians, like very fun to listen to, but like very much the like old country, 60s, 70s country vibe.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it was really cool. We played a few songs, including the song Ophelia we finished on, which was a song by the band, and a song that I recorded at a house concert here with Kaylee Cardinal, Dylan Farrell, and of course my girlfriend Angie. So I figured maybe I'd throw that in right now. We could throw some music in. We didn't have any music in the last episode, but I have this recorded from a house concert here at my house a few years back.
Sounds good.
And it's a beauty. I'm so happy to be playing this one for you.
One of my faves.
Boards on the window, mail by the door. What would anyone leave so quickly for Ophelia? Where have you gone?
Your neighborhood just ain't the same. Nobody knows just what became of Ophelia. Tell me what went wrong.
of Ophelia. Please come back home. Won't you darken my door? Come on, baby. Come back home. Won't you come back? Come back home. Won't you come back? Please darken my door. And tell me what went wrong. Won't you come back home? Thank you so much, everybody. Y'all are really beautiful. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. Kaylee Cardinal, Angela Steves, Dylan.
Yeah, I recorded here live in my living room like 3 years ago. I think we did that, maybe 4.
Nice.
It's a good time. You were not here for that one.
No.
Good buddy Art, our mutual friend. He I remember he was there.
Yeah.
That concert. Anyways,
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, Kaylee Cardinal. She's become she's doing really, really super well right now.
Bit of a superstar now.
Yeah, everyone go check her out. She's been playing festivals, and she was just in the National Folk Alliance shows, like a big showcase for folk musicians in down in the States, and just killed it down there.
Was that in New Orleans?
I forget exactly. I don't think it's New Orleans.
I
but
saw that she was in New Orleans for something.
maybe it was New Orleans.
Maybe that's the only reason I guessed that.
Yeah,
I know that New Orleans is in the States.
New Orleans. New Orleans. Yeah, it's a big like jazz hub for the world. But I think honestly it's in like Idaho or something. I don't know.
Well,
I don't remember.
that's a great place where potatoes come
Don't
from.
fucking question me, Shane.
Fair enough.
You're a potato. All right. Moving on before I get too drunk. Let's get into our Rogan breakdowns, our Rogan reporting.
Hence the title.
I feel like I need a little like
That'd be sick.
for like some kind of like little intro for the Rogan report
Yeah,
segment.
yeah. I feel like those would be easy to come by.
Yeah, we could do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably won't. I'm an idea man.
We do have ideas often on this show
Yeah.
that never get brought to
I have a
fruition.
serious lack of follow through, and I'm just
Well,
like I said, good ideas sometimes, but I don't know how to get them accomplished.
yeah.
Anyways, we wanted to talk about GRE 1415, Barry Weiss, and the MMA show 86 with Josh Thompson.
Yeah.
So let's start with Barry Weiss, since that's the chronologically what happened first.
Fair enough.
She is, of course, like an author and a Jew, and a Zionist Jew, as they talked about in the show. Do you know? Can you explain for our listeners what Zionist and anti-Zionist movements are?
I'd have a harder time explaining, and I only got through about half that episode. But
Oh, you motherfucker!
like I said, I was catching up today while I was painting, but I didn't get all the way caught up. I would have a hard time actually explaining Zionist, but I feel like anti-Zionist is essentially anti-Jewish people.
Yeah, it's all about believing whether the state of Israel has a right to exist or not exist.
Okay.
And anti-Zionist is basically saying that Israel shouldn't exist, which is kind of fucked up. And the analogy they used in Rogan, which I thought was really good, is like before you have a baby, you can talk with your partner and be like, hey, should we have a baby? Let's talk about, are we ready? Do we have enough finances?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we want out of our lives? And it's totally cool to have those conversations.
Yeah.
After you have the baby, you
It's-
can't be like, okay, now should we have this baby? Or should we maybe get a little
Should we
fucking
dumpster it?
should we get a late term abortion here? A 3-year-old abortion. And it's kind of the same thing with Israel, because Israel does exist. It's not like should Israel exist or should Israel not exist. No, it does exist, and it's kind of a crazy story. And I think that she explains it so well, and so she's got this new book out that's like all about anti-Semitism and how to fight anti-Semitism. She was actually going to write a different book, but she just based on the state of the world right now, she felt like she needed to get this one out first.
Right.
And I haven't listened to it or read it yet. I'll probably listen to it at some point.
Mhm.
Probably won't read it because I don't read much these days.
Yeah,
Although,
it's all listening now.
yeah, I'm like, I'll read a book a year, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
actual reading, and then listen to like, well, including podcasts, probably hundreds of books a year's worth of content.
Oh, for sure. It's just more efficient. You can do things and absorb a book.
Yeah, it's hard to read a book while I'm driving to work.
Right.
Yeah, I try
Highly
sometimes.
inadvisable.
So what was did you have any like key takeaways from Barry West? You said you wanted to talk about that one, even though you hadn't listened to it.
Well, the point that I kind of was stuck on, Joe Rogan brought up circumcisions
Yeah,
and how kind of fucked up they are
yeah.
in the grand scheme
Cutting
of
baby
things.
dicks. That's
Yeah.
should we cut baby dicks or should we not cut?
And
baby
that
dicks?
is a tough one to defend.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how you do it. And I
Well-
think they used to say that it for like cleanliness and stuff like that,
Sure.
infections. But I think that's
Yeah,
pretty been
wash your
thoroughly debunked.
Yeah,
You wash
your
the
dick.
thing, you're good.
Yeah. To me, there is only one defense of it, and that is because it's the normal thing. Girls, when they see circumcised penises, are like, "Cool, that looks awesome." And when they see uncircumcised penises, they have the opposite reaction. So,
Yeah.
like for my son, when he's especially in those early sexual, by the time you're 40, women are like, "Yeah, whatever, that's fucking." It gets hard, and then it's the same, But when you're like 20 and girls are like, no fucking way, get out of here. And
Yeah.
it could lead to a traumatizing sexual experience if you're with a not a cool woman.
But that's really just because that's how it is.
I know, and that would change.
That's
if
a
we
weird
changed it.
argument for cutting baby dicks,
I
like
know.
Joe says.
It is a weird argument, but if you want your son to have good sexual interactions, especially when he's with younger women who are not yet as mature and able to, and because of our society, they're conditioned to have bad reactions.
Yeah.
But
I think that's changed a lot, though, especially in the last 10 years.
maybe, yeah.
I think a lot less circumcising is happening, especially here in Canada. In the States, it's different. Up here in Canada, there's a lot. It's not quite as much
Is that right?
the norm, I think.
Huh. Well, all Jews, basically.
But it's weird that it became everyone's, right? It was a Jewish thing.
It was, yeah.
And then
That's
all
what
the
God
Roman
wanted.
Catholics in America were like, wait, we like that.
Yeah.
We're doing that one too.
Yeah, that's easier.
Cutting baby dicks, we're in.
Yeah. And,
What the hell happened?
I know they've talked about it on Rogan, but when you have an actual moil, the traditional way for them to do it is they cut it and then the moil like sucks it.
Sucks
to,
the blood?
To suck, to stop the bleeding, which is like, oh my God,
I
gross.
take
And
offense
kids,
to that.
yeah, it's pretty gross. And babies have been given STDs from these gross moils.
Oh, that's
that
so terrible.
Have like herpes and
And-
syphilis and all kinds of things.
I don't know what it is, 1%, 2%, but sometimes it leads to infections that cause the dick to fall
Yeah,
off.
you lose the dick.
God
that's
damn,
definitely
that's a
not
big
good.
gamble, man.
Glad I made it through my circumcision
Yeah.
with without any of that problem.
Shit.
But yeah, I think mine was done by a doctor in the hospital.
I think that's how they
pretty
do them now. Who's really getting it? I mean, I don't know any Jewish people, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not really
Well-
any. I mean, I've met some, but I don't really know
Yeah.
any.
My sister's Jewish, of
Right.
course, as we've talked about on the show.
Yeah.
And my nephew, recently born, was circumcised at a bris by a moil,
So, like, the full on.
but not with the like sucking finish,
Hmm.
with just like I think it was still done in the hospital.
Yeah.
And it was like, the moil was like a well-trained, might have been a doctor, I think, also,
Mhm.
and just happened to be a Jewish doctor or something like that. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I don't know the whole
Fair
story.
enough. yeah.
But yeah, my nephew was definitely circumcised, because it's part of their tradition.
But it's interesting, like Joe brought up, like, what if it was normal for us to fucking slash off girls' clits as their babies?
Well, it's normal for some
And that happens
cultures.
in places,
Yeah. That's way worse, obviously.
That's obviously way worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little nerve center.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know
Like,
it might not be the same when they're little. Obviously, it's not. But
no, but if it leads to you never being able to have a good orgasm, that's way more traumatic. Like, I can have pretty good orgasms.
yeah,
And so, like, it would be traumatic if I wasn't able to have that. Who knows, though? Maybe they'd be better if I didn't have the tip of my dick cut.
yeah.
But maybe,
You could ask a guy, but how would he know?
I know.
So
I
that's
guess
like
you'd
a
have to have
chicken
an
and egg
adult-
question almost.
Well, if you had an adult male that was castrated like
Right.
at the age 30, do you think they would be able to tell the difference before
Well,
and
certainly, but it's not the same because you didn't grow up with it, right?
after? Yeah.
it's not
it
the
is.
same at all.
That's true.
And I've heard that's a horrific process for an adult.
Yeah, you definitely want it done before you have memories of being alive.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
I think if you can
You
get
don't
as
want
much
to
as
make
the-
that choice.
Yeah. We should start giving babies tattoos before they're able to
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
just so it's not traumatizing.
Oh, that's fucked up though. They used to pierce girls' ears, and still, and
Yeah.
don't hate me if you're one of them moms that pierces your baby's ears. I think it's fucked up, but whatever.
It is weird when especially because, and this is the same with like children wearing makeup, children wearing suggestive clothing.
Right.
Like all of that is the purpose that women wear that stuff is to like attract males.
Yeah.
And so when you have a baby that's wearing makeup and has pierced ears and is like,
That's weird.
I mean, I know that's not the only purpose, and a lot of women wear it just for themselves only, but
sure.
it's definitely a big reason that women wear that. The whole reason women wear blush to make their cheeks look more red is because that's how they look when they're horny and
Right.
when they want to
They're all flushed.
Yeah, when they're ready for sex. Like that's the whole reason of where it came from and why men are more attracted to women when they're wearing blush.
Yeah.
Red lipstick, it's making the lips look bigger. I think it's all back to that. And
I mean,
so
I
it's
have a little
fucked up when
girl, and she used to play with makeup and stuff, but we never really allowed that too much out.
No,
it's jarring, man, when you see a little girl with makeup on. It's
yeah.
like, where's the control here? Like,
Yeah, it's
You know?
not as bad though as little girls dressed super provocative.
no, not as bad at all.
That's worse. Like a
Absolutely.
super short skirt and a low cut. Then I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah.
ah,
You're fucking that kid up.
Yeah.
And you're fucking society up.
yeah. It makes me want to call child services.
Yeah, totally.
Be like, this is not good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did her ears get pierced? When did you let her pierce her ears? Because she's
My daughter?
Yeah,
When she was old enough to ask for it.
and
And I think we got it done the first time she was 5, and they got infected. We took them out. They grew over, and I think she did it again a couple years later. But,
okay,
yeah. And then
she's
it's been good ever
been
since.
good
but,
since.
yeah.
Right on.
but that's the thing with little ones. It's tough to get them clean all the time.
Yeah.
They don't care about taking care of shit like
No.
that. So it gets infected. Like my little sister had it done, and it got so badly infected that the backing disappeared inside her earlobe.
Ooh,
And it was like a murder show. It's traumatizing in my childhood watching my parents dig that out of my
that's
sister's
not
ear.
good. Yeah.
It's-
So don't do that. Wait
Yeah,
until
no.
I think 12 years old is
Even,
a good
yeah.
time.
Why do
Like-
little children need earrings that
Yeah.
can get caught on shit and ripped out?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think that's necessary.
it's silly.
But that's just me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. The MMA show 86 with Josh Thompson.
Yeah.
Josh Thompson, former lightweight champion was it Bellator, I think?
Strike Force.
Strike Force, that's what it was.
Yeah, and then he went to
Um,
UFC.
Yeah, fought in the UFC.
Had a good run in the UFC.
Yeah, was they said that he was like a game changer sort of and did some innovative shit.
Well, he's a real pioneer. Like he's been around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's a commentator for Bellator.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Bellator connection is.
I think
in
he
my head.
fought in. Did he fight in Bellator too? I think he did.
I don't remember. I know the name, but I was trying to picture because I listened to that one. I didn't watch it at all. And I was trying to picture him while I was listening to it, and I just could not get a face in my. Is he a white guy?
He's a white guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I could. This is like a blank white guy. Is what
He sort of looks like Matthew Fox a little bit from
Oh, okay.
Lost. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have said Matthew Fox from Party of Five, but
Fair enough. Yeah. That's more our era, isn't it?
they're rebooting.
Let's
Party
go
of
all the
Five.
way back to our childhood.
I've been seeing commercials for Party of Five
Oh,
on
Christ.
TV. It's like, but I think it's like a it's like a Hispanic family, and maybe
Oh, wow.
something to do with border crossing. I don't really know.
That sounds
Uh,
woke.
But yeah, it is. Party of Five is being rebooted.
That's where Nev Campbell came from.
Shit, yeah, and even hotter than Nev Campbell, who I had a big crush on, is Jennifer.
Oh, right, the little sister.
Yeah,
At
what
the
is
time, that wasn't okay, but we
No.
were little then too. So
Then
it was
she got super hot after that. What
Yeah.
is her name? Jennifer something.
Jennifer Lee something. I believe.
No, it's not that. That's Jennifer Jason Lee is not the right answer. I don't
No.
have my phone. How do I not have my phone? I've gone to use it to look things up several times now, and I just don't have it in
We're
front of
back to bro science in this shit.
me. That's not acceptable.
No.
This is a fucking podcast. We have technology now.
The whole thing thrives on technology.
Yeah, okay. Well, using Search Mine, let's see what I got for Party of Five.
What's Search Mine? You don't like Google?
I don't know. It's the Safari for some reason, and I don't know. I'm sure I can change this and make Google my homepage.
Yeah.
But when I open a new tab, Search Mine is what automatically comes up.
That's the Apple Google, basically?
I assume. I really don't know. It's, but it does work. I brought it up.
Yeah.
So, IMDb, 1994 to the year 2000 is when it was on. There's Matthew Fox, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, Nev Campbell was in it.
I always hated that guy. Matthew Fox.
Really?
I don't know why.
Even on Lost?
Yeah, even on Lost. He was my least favorite character on that show by far.
Jennifer Love Hewitt was the answer.
She's from that show?
Jennifer Love Hewitt. She was the like littlest
Oh,
sister.
that's not what I thought at all.
Because the thing is, it's the story is it's like the oldest brother, the parents die, and so the oldest brother, Matthew Fox, is kind of taking care of the four
Right.
younger siblings.
Yeah.
And they're all 5 siblings. And Scott Wolf is one of the siblings, Nev Campbell.
Right. Scott Wolf. Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. My parents liked this show. I maybe watched half of one episode, but Jennifer Love Hewitt was in this like teen movie that came out later,
Mm-hmm.
where she's the love interest. I kind of forget. There's kids trying to get a letter to her. He like wrote her a letter. He's like a geek, and she breaks up with like the captain of the football team because she
I
realizes
think
he's
I
a
remember
douche.
vaguely what that is.
Yeah, and there's like a geeky kid who's like representing me basically, and who like has liked her for like 3 years and likes her not only because she's fucking super hot, but because he thinks she's like really, really cool and really smart. And like he wrote her this letter that's like, hey, I fucking like you. You're awesome. You know, these are all the reasons you're rad, and I would love to spend time with you. And so then there's like a big party at the end of the year or something, and he's trying to get this letter to her, and during this time all these other dudes are just coming out of the woodwork to hit on her because she's the hottest girl in school. And it's come out that she's broken up with this fucking
just the gauntlet
douche. Yeah, so she's just getting like railed on by all these dudes, and she's like, seriously, leave me alone, I'm not into this right now. And I don't know, spoiler alert, it works out for the geek in the end.
As these movies do.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, he somehow gets her the letter. Seth Green is in the movie as well. And
90s were big for Seth Green.
Yeah. Fucking 2000s like a good like Robot Chicken.
Yeah, that's true.
Family Guy.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that he's done better since the
Fair
90s.
enough. But less like as an actor, more behind the scenes kind of.
I don't know, man. Without a Paddle, that's like...
Okay. Yeah. Okay, but that was like, yeah.
That was with Dax Shepard, who now is one of the biggest podcasters in the world.
That's true.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I can't think of that name. All I can think of is not another teen movie. And I tried to click on...
It's not 10 Things I Hate About You, is it?
No, it's not that.
That's a Heath Ledger movie, I think. Yeah.
I tried to click on Jennifer Love Hewitt on IMDb, and of course it opened up some fucking spam page that it didn't go to imdb.com.
Yeah.
But now I'm at it, so let's see what's she known for. I know what she did last summer, of course. She was super hot in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie that I'm thinking about is not one that she's known for. It's not in this top 4. I'd have to click on See All Movies.
Oh, that's interesting, because Nev Campbell was in Scream, and there definitely wouldn't have been I Know What You Did Last Summer without Scream. And she also
Scream
came from, so they
was
both
first.
came from Party of Five, though.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like
Coincidence?
opened up that whole slasher genre.
Scream was I remember when the first Scream first came out, and it was kind of groundbreaking to have a villain that was like a little bit slapstick. There was a little bit of like funny, and there was like some good twists and turns in it. No spoilers.
And good looking, and
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it went on to be like Scream 19, and you're like, okay, enough.
How about Drew Barrymore's death in the beginning of that movie?
Was that
one of the
the
best.
garage door?
The blonde.
that was the stabbing.
Like the very first, before the movie even really starts.
Yeah, I didn't remember that was Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. It's a good one though.
You might not believe that I'm still trying to get my computer to bring up how many movies Jennifer Love Hewitt has been in and what order and which ones they were.
I don't know what she
God.
does now. I know her husband still. He does a podcast with Josh Wolf called something in the Prince.
Who's her husband?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh,
Something in the Prince.
yeah, he was in. I've seen him. He was in that one. She's All That.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
And Scooby Doo. They were both in Scooby Doo. Both of them.
yeah, he's a pretty good-looking man.
Yeah. His father was a great comedian.
Freddie Prinze
Senior.
Senior.
From far before our time,
Yeah,
I believe.
I don't know. Listeners, I'm sure, are fucking throwing things across the room,
Like,
smashing
who
glasses.
fucking cares?
Yeah, get over it. She was on a movie. Okay, it was a teen movie. You're lame.
Hey, boomers, fucking
Yeah.
talk about something.
Teen movies are stupid. Whatever. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, fuck all of you. It's free entertainment.
Yeah. Give us some money, and then you can tell us what to do.
Yeah, that's how shit works, bro.
Yeah. Go buy our Amazon things. Buy a fucking Squarespace website through us somehow, and then you can tell us what to do, and we'll do it gladly.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
it is how it works.
So yeah, Josh Thompson.
Yeah.
They were talking about. I mean, you wanted to talk about maybe potentially having
Just fights
Interfight-
between
yeah, what
a
is it?
UFC fighter and a
Interdivisional.
Bellator fighter. Like have a pay-per-view that's, cross promotional.
cross promotional.
And Josh said several times, don't risk your champions against each other. Like you're
Right.
like a Lima, that's their champ, isn't it? Lima.
Yeah, I think he is at 170.
Okay. Any other guy, say MVP versus Wonderboy Thompson
Yeah,
would make a great fight.
Rory McDonald would be a good one because he's fought in the UFC.
Yeah,
Did well initially, but hasn't. His last few fights have not been good. I don't
and
know.
some one guys too. Like you're seeing UFC fighters go over to one, and two of them have lost already. I mean, Sage Northcutt's not one of the greats, so I mean, whatever. But fucking Alvarez lost
That's true.
to that Timofey character.
Yeah, I don't think anyone saw that coming.
No.
Wonder what the odds were, the betting odds on that. I bet you Alvarez was like a heavy
So high.
400 favorite or so.
But Alvarez has fought everywhere now. He was in Bellator. I think he was in Strikeforce as well.
Yeah.
He was definitely in UFC and made a championship out of it.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
to
Yeah.
say that only the UFC fighters are good fighters, that's crazy.
No, that's stupid, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's good fighters across. But the very, very top levels, I do think are the UFC.
Probably.
And that's what it looks like when from what we've seen of people.
Except
coming
for
over.
maybe Mighty Mouse. I could see Mighty Mouse Cejudo do it again, and maybe Mighty Mouse takes it this time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because that one pissed me off. I didn't want Cejudo to win that belt at all.
Yeah,
I liked Mighty Mouse.
I still like him.
But where else was Mighty Mouse going to go? Like,
No, it was all monetary. Right? Like, they offered him an amazing deal. He was going to get less money for his next fight than his previous fight in the UFC. So of course they offer him double what he was making. Yeah, he's going to go and do that.
he's set, and he's a Twitch like star,
Yeah,
like with the gaming.
true.
So
Yeah, I've been playing this WGT golf game.
Yeah.
And I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
I just got invited to be a part of this WGT Nation, which is only for players level 90 and above.
sweet.
Yeah. I don't want to say I'm the best in the world, but I'm up there.
Is that on your phone or on a system?
I mostly play on my phone.
Yeah.
The best players in the world, they play on the computer.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's slightly better on the computer, like using a mouse, you can click slightly
Better
faster,
controls.
better control.
Yeah.
There's when you're taking a shot, you like set the power level that you want, and then there's a bar that goes from the power level down, and you have to try to hit it right in the center to like, it's called dinging it.
Mhm.
And the bar moves, like, depending on which clubs and which ball you're using, the bar will move slower or faster.
Yeah.
And yeah, on the phone, sometimes what I found is that it'll like lag. Like if the internet kind of is a little shitty,
Yeah.
it'll like lag, and then it'll be jumpy, and it's like super hard to hit the ding.
Mhm.
Whereas on the computer, because you're wired in, it's like it's never lagging.
Yeah.
So that's but I just prefer playing it on my phone because it's convenient and easy.
That sounds a lot like a Tiger Woods game.
It's very
Same
much like
similar
Tiger
type.
Woods, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it's all real courses and it's real equipment. Like, I play with a TaylorMade driver, very similar to the driver I have in my actual golf bag, and
Nice.
I'm a lot better on the internet. I'm shooting like my average is 62.5, which is like 10 under par. And, my average in real life is like 82.5,
Yeah.
which is 10 over par.
So video
So-
game skills definitely don't translate
Yeah.
to golf.
I mean, it doesn't hurt, I guess.
Just
but
for like a thought experiment.
and when I first picked up the game, I was kind of on par with what my real life game was.
Oh yeah.
But then I started getting better, and I bought better clubs, and I kind of advanced my character. And now, I obviously destroy myself.
Honestly, if you could play physical golf as often as you play on your phone, you probably would be a lot
it
better
might be,
at that too.
Yeah, it might be better for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, Josh Thompson, good dude, good episode. So go check out those episodes. What else? Is there anything we're missing here? Just the Joe jokes is all I have left on the table of contents. Should we get into that?
Might as well.
I went first last time, so I'll let you go first this time.
Okay. What looks like a starfish and has very high pressurized PSI behind it.
High PSI, pounds per square inch.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't know.
That would be Joe's asshole this month as he's doing the carnivore diet. He's been shitting out a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I've heard it. It comes out
That's
fast
actually
and
all
black.
I've really heard about it that's solid about the carnivore diet is that it gives you
Well, also that his
bad
energy
diarrhea.
has
the
stayed,
energy.
Yeah, his energy stayed up, and he's
And
not
anal
losing
leakage.
energy. And he's lost weight too. He said he lost.
Oh,
like
that's true.
10
He
pounds or
actually
something.
does look pretty trippy.
Yeah. That's funny that your joke is that, because my joke is also about, Joe is very fit. I too have an athletic body if you consider golfers from the 80s to be athletes. It's funny because I would say, it's better. The line is better if you consider golfers athletes, but golfers today are fucking athletes. When you see,
Yeah, they're
look at
athletes.
Tiger Woods, he's fucking ripped and shit.
Yeah.
So you have to say like golfers from the 80s or maybe golfers from the 90s, like
Yeah.
John Daly, not very athletic.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of chubby guys anymore. I
No,
remember
there
playing,
is still a few, but yeah, there was way more before.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's still a lot when you actually go to the golf course,
Fair
and
enough.
there's a lot
So
of
it's
guys.
mostly rich white dudes.
Yeah, more guys my size than guys Tiger Woods' size.
Yeah, because unfortunately, a lot of times with them good dollars come with good belly.
That's true. Yeah,
It's- you get comfortable.
you can afford to eat whatever you want. You
Yeah.
can afford to drive to your work instead of riding your bike, and
Yeah,
there's lots of.
that shit adds up.
But then once you get an even higher level of wage, then it's easier to eat better and,
Right.
and be thin.
Now you can afford
Yeah.
a personal trainer.
Yeah, because like I'm still eating sometimes shitty food because it's convenient, and not if I could eat better food.
And then
I
a
would
lot of these
probably
rich
be thinner.
guys end up on wife number 2. It's like 20.
Sure.
So now they have a new thing to keep up with.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us to the end. I can't believe that I still didn't think of what that movie was. It's Jennifer Love Hewitt. Usually when I stop thinking about things,
Yeah.
they just pop into my head, and I
I'm sure it'll come as I'm getting in my Uber.
can't hardly wait. That was the movie.
Nice.
Can't hardly
Nice.
wait.
That was a very forgettable movie. Very forgettable movie.
It's funny because it was little, I saw it. It came out, like right as I was the age of those characters.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I used to catch all of those teeny bopper movies back
yeah,
then, man.
It made an impact on me. Now when I watch, like, there's some shows like Nancy Drew just came out, and with my girlfriend, and she's like, "Oh, let's try this out." I'm like, "Okay," and we watched the first episode, and I was like, "Man, this is not made for me." It's just so obviously made for young adults and not for old adults.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, like that 70s show, I bet wouldn't hold up that well.
Angie loved it. She just rewatched the whole thing
Yeah?
over the last year.
Okay, maybe
and,
I'm wrong.
And loved it.
Because I loved that show back then, but
Yeah.
I wonder.
I don't know. All right, guys. Thanks very much for listening. We'll get back to you here in another week or so with yet another good fucking Rogan Report episode.
Yeah, man.
That was 45.
Right on.
Hey there, Joe Rogan, super fan.
This podcast is for you, my man, or woman, or non-binary. Our recaps will be legendary. The Rogan Report Podcast. Come on, you'll have a blast at the Rogan Report Podcast.